The International Center is a place at GBC that international students can use as a home base for their entire time at college. They help international students with practical matters like study permits and documentation, but also support international students from all over the world with their general transition to life in Canada. I asked Ashley Sullivan and Tenzing Kunga, both staff at the International Center, to talk about their work through the lens of mental health, and this is what they told me.
When I think of mental health and how it fits into our work here in the International Center, I really feel that students as a whole are under an immense amount of stress. But I also think that there's an added layer for international students because they're new to the country, they're possibly here alone. Like many of our students have left their family and friends and have come to Canada completely by themselves to start a new life here. There's also an extra level of anxiety, I feel, for our international students because many may be from a country where English isn't their first language, and many of our students may not be confident yet with their English skills. And they're nervous about talking to their classmates or raising their hand in class, or maybe making a presentation is an added stressor for them as well. So there's definitely more of an anxiety, I think, in some cases for international students. So some of the work that we do here in the International Center is to try and support students and help them to work through those challenges that they're having, working on workshops to help them make better presentations or connect them with the resources on campus that can support those academic challenges. The language issue as well, we help with support language cafes through the Tutoring and Learning Center and things like that, so that students can really work through those anxieties and hopefully, be happy and successful here in Canada.
One of the things our international students sort of see as a barrier is the social and cultural adjustments. And this is, I think, on the part of international students, is they're not very comfortable with approaching their peers. Also the fact that they are sometimes too conscious about how limited their English language skills are and are often too hesitant to be part of any activities. So where we come into the picture as an international center is we run all these events, social events, workshops, wherein we sort of help students to get adjusted to the Canadian curriculum, to go out and sort of network with other students, their peers, so that they can sort of thrive in their life at the college. So the International Center is, again, more or less like a universal sort of a service at the college for international students. So from day one, from orientation, we always encourage our students to come to the International Center for any questions, any queries, any support, sort of a referral that they require at the college. We as an International Center assist students on various aspects of the situation that they encounter, rather than just having to focus on one aspect of their life, be it career or something as simple as just academics. We sort of see students on a more universal sort of an area.
One challenge that we do find with some international students is the learning system or the classroom culture that they're used to in their home country may be very different than the classroom culture here in Canada. So we try to offer workshops and support services to help them understand how the classroom works in Canada. For instance, in some cultures, it's not okay to ask a professor a question or to raise your hand in class, where here in Canada, that's encouraged. The other side of some of the services that we run in the International Center is also the social side. For international students, they've made the choice to come to Canada because they want a new experience, they want to meet new people, and they want to improve their life and the life of other people. So I think it's really important for international students to make those connections, because they don't have their family and their friend system that maybe Canadian students have. So it's even more important for them to make the connections on campus because they don't have the family base here in Toronto that some other students may have. What I think makes us unique is that we are there to help students through the whole cycle of their time here at the college. So even if we may not be the right person for them, I always tell them to start with us, and we will make sure that they get connected with the appropriate person across the college. Because the college, it's a large, huge organization, and it can be very challenging for students to navigate. And I think that's what makes us unique for international students, is we are kind of like their home base. So they may not know the person that they need to connect with, or they need to see, or the service that they should go and see. But if they start with us, we will connect them with the appropriate person, so that it really limits that navigation challenge that many students face. And I think that, helps support our international students so that they can get connected with who they need to get connected with when they need to get connected. And it's not that challenge of not knowing where to go, because they always have that home base that they can start with.